Have you ever heard of buying meat with rice? As the name suggests, it means exchanging rice for meat to eat. But this meat isn't ordinary pork or lamb. It's said to only appear during times of famine. I remember when I was a kid, our village was hit by a severe famine. We were about to run out of food at home when someone left 5 handfuls of white rice at our doorstep. Grandma shouted that it was a miracle from the gods and hurriedly gathered the rice to cook porridge. Halfway through eating, we realized we hadn't questioned where the rice came from. When Grandpa heard Grandma's account, he stomped his foot and said, "This isn't a miracle from any god. It's clearly his rice for buying meat. 5 handfuls for 5 people, it's buying the lives of our whole family." Grandma's eyes widened in horror. "Old man, how could this rice be for buying meat?" "Don't laugh." Grandpa's veins bulged with anger. "That damn thing. When famine strikes, it uses rice to buy meat, scattering it at doorsteps just waiting for people to pick it up. 30 years ago, how many people did it devour alive with this trick? Have you all forgotten?" Seeing Grandma trembling with fear, Mom couldn't help but chime in. "What if it's just someone being kind, giving us relief grain?" Grandpa sneered, his mustache twitching. "I ran around the village all day and couldn't borrow a single grain. Who would be kind enough to give us rice?" He pointed at the ground. "Besides that thing, who else would know our family has 5 people? Chuanxing's hiding in the cellar, and not a soul in the village knows about it. Chuanxing is my dad. A few months ago, he got into a fight with the village head's son over land rent, smashing the guy's head open. The village head retaliated, breaking Dad's leg and threatening to kill him if he saw him again. Grandpa told everyone Dad had gone to stay with relatives to recover, but in truth, Dad was hiding in our cellar." Grandma, with a mournful face, asked, "Old man, is it really sent based on the number of people?" Grandpa replied, "Not only by head count, but by how much meat is on each person. Old woman, think carefully, weren't there 4 big handfuls and 1 small one?" Grandma froze as if recalling something terrifying, her hands trembling uncontrollably. "It's my fault. I shouldn't have picked up those 5 handfuls of rice. I was so scared I burst into tears. This isn't buying meat rice. Someone left it. I saw the person who dropped it." Grandpa and Grandma rushed over. "Little Stone, you saw them?" I nodded. "I caught a glimpse from afar when I went out. They were already walking away." Grandma, clutching me tightly, asked, "Sweetie, what did they look like?" I thought for a moment. "Really tall as our wall. And fat, probably twice as fat as the village head's old sow. They walked weirdly, like an old lady with bound feet, wobbling with every step." Grandma's face fell in despair. "Dear heavens, that's no human. After all these years, we escaped to this place and it still won't let us go." Grandpa let out a long sigh. "Looks like it won't stop until it's eaten every last one of us." Grandma said, "Old man, why don't we find somewhere to hide?" Grandpa shook his head. "Hide? Now that we've eaten its buying meat rice, we're marked with its scent. Where could we hide?" Mom interjected, "Let's not scare ourselves. A child's words aren't reliable. Why don't we ask the neighbors if they got any rice? That'll clear things up." Grandpa paused, then nodded. "Stone's mom is right. I'll go check. You all lock the gate tight. That thing mimics whoever it eats. When I come back, I'll knock 3 times and cough 3 times. If it's off by even 1, don't open the door. If this rice is really from that thing, it'll come for meat tonight. We don't have much time." With a furrowed brow, Grandpa left. No sooner had he gone than a fog rolled in. Mom's face darkened. "Fog in the middle of winter? That's not right." Grandma stepped into the courtyard, sniffed the air, and her face grew grim. "There's a fishy stench in this fog. I've heard that thing breathes it out. This is a bad omen." I nervously tugged at Grandma's sleeve. "Grandma, what is that thing? We're all out of food. Where does it get its rice?" Before today, I'd never even heard of buying meat. Grandma pulled me into her arms inside. "No one knows what it is. Anyone who's seen its true face has been eaten alive. They say the rice is what it hoards, waiting for famines to buy meat. It hides when people are strong, but when they're weak, it comes out to feast." Mom's face paled. "There's such a thing in this world? Is there no way to stop it?" Grandma shook her head. "It's not that there's no way, it's that when it shows up, everyone's too starved and weak to fight." Just then, someone knocked on the door. 3 taps, followed by 3 coughs. "Little Stone, it's me." Grandma hurried to the gate. Mom muttered, "How's he back so soon?" Grandma's hand was halfway to the bolt when she froze. She pointed to the corner and whispered, "Little Stone, get down and look through the crack under the door. Is it your grandpa?" Though it was dark and foggy, I was close enough to see. The patched-up black cloth shoes and tattered pant legs were unmistakably Grandpa's. I nodded to Grandma. Grandpa, sounding anxious, said, "Open the door quick." "It's me." Grandma opened the gate. Grandpa, panting heavily, said, "I'm not coming in. Only old Zhang's family and ours got rice." Blind Zhang's house didn't answer, and Wang Lawu wouldn't even open his door, saying they got nothing. I'm heading to Beard's place to see what's up. This fog is suspicious. 8 out of 10 that thing's here. Back then, we all escaped together. Beard's dad always had the best ideas. I'll talk to him. Get Little Stone's dad out of the cellar. I don't feel safe with just you three in the house. Grandma gripped Grandpa's hand. Old man, be careful. Hurry back. After Grandpa left, Grandma shakily locked the gate, sighing, "Dear heavens, what do we do now?" Soon, night fell and the fog thickened from a thin veil to a heavy shroud. From the house to the gate, just a dozen steps away, we couldn't even see the gate clearly. It was eerily quiet outside. The famine had wiped out all the village's cats and dogs, leaving only faint insect chirps. Dad's leg splint was still on, and Mom, worried about him, went down to the cellar to help him up. That left just me and Grandma upstairs. The north wind howled like ghostly wails. I don't know if I was hallucinating, but I thought I heard a rustling sound outside, like footsteps. Grandma tensed and called out, "Who's there?" The sound stopped briefly, then a knock came at the door. Grandma grabbed a pitchfork and shouted again, "Who is it?" "Old sister, open the door quick. It's Wang Lawu." Grandma relaxed slightly and whispered to me, "Probably Wang Lawu heard we got rice and came to borrow some. We've only got 2 handfuls left. Even if the rice's origin is unclear, it's better than nothing." I was puzzled. "Grandma, why didn't Wang Lawu come during the day? Why wait till night?" Grandma slapped her thigh. "Exactly. What if it's that thing pretending to be him?" I ran to the door and peered through the crack. In the fog, I could vaguely make out a pair of filthy bare feet and muddy legs. I turned to Grandma. "I can't tell if it's Wang Lawu, but it's definitely a person." Grandma nodded and called out from behind the gate, "Brother Lawu, whatever you need, say it from out there." "Old sister, I'm here to borrow rice. We've got none at home. Go borrow from someone else." Wang Lawu's voice turned vicious. "Don't play dumb. I know you've got rice. Open the door and give me half, or I'll tell the whole village you've got grain. They'll kill your whole family to get it." Wang Lawu was ruthless and unscrupulous. Nobody dared cross him. Grandma trembled with anger. "Fine, take it all." I ran inside, grabbed the rice, and handed it to Grandma, comforting her. "Give it to Wang Lawu. If that thing eats him, it might be full and leave us alone." Grandma chuckled despite herself. "You little rascal, you've got some sense." I followed her to the gate. She unlatched the bolt and handed the rice out. The moment the door opened, a foul, fishy stench hit us, carried by the wind. I nervously called out to Grandma, but she stood frozen, unmoving. My heart raced for no reason, and I bolted back to the house. Mom and Dad had just climbed out of the cellar. Dad, tossing aside his crutches, was pacing to make his walk look normal. When I told them what happened, Dad grabbed a stick and followed me to the gate. In the thick fog, Grandma stood in the middle of the gateway, half her body outside, half inside, trembling violently as if trying to close the door. Dad stepped forward cautiously and tugged at her. "Ma, what are you looking at? Close the door and get inside." That tug was a mistake. Grandma collapsed backward into the courtyard. Her face and upper body were gone, just a bloody lower half, still twitching in pain. Outside, a massive black shadow loomed, covered in countless tiny red lanterns, each pair flanked by a blood-red mouth. The mouths grinned at us, baring their teeth, and the shadow waved half of a leg Wang Lawu's. Dad froze, then lunged to slam the gate shut and bolt it. The door began to shake violently as the thing outside pounded it, screeching in a voice eerily like Grandma's. "Open the door. Give me the meat. You ate my rice, now give me the meat." Though I knew it couldn't be Grandma, I couldn't stop crying and shouting for her. "Little Stone," Dad said, "that thing mimics the voice of whoever it eats. Don't fall for it." Mom rushed to help, swiftly adding another bar to the gate and leaning against it with Dad. She shouted, "Little Stone, get inside." But I was so terrified my legs wouldn't move. I stared at Grandma's half-eaten body, unable to cry properly. Dozens of mouths outside growled in Grandma's voice. "1 grain of rice, 1 bite of meat. Give me my meat." Mom, pressing her body against the gate, yelled to Dad, "It wants Ma's body. Give it to it, or we're all dead." Dad's eyes reddened as he roared, "Ma, your son's unfilial. Forgive me." He quickly scooped up what was left of Grandma's body and, with all his strength, hurled it over the courtyard wall. With a thud, the body landed and the gate stopped shaking. A sickeningly sweet chewing sound came from outside. Mom dropped the gate, grabbed me, and ran for the house, calling to Dad, "Get inside. It'll finish eating soon." Dad bolted into the house, slammed the door, and barred it. He and Mom pushed tables and cabinets against it. Just as they finished, a deafening crash rang out, likely the gate collapsing. A chaotic rustling filled the courtyard, like many footsteps or whispered voices. We held our breath, gripping each other's sweaty hands. My heart pounded so hard it felt like it would leap out of my throat. Then a rapid sniffing sound came from the window. Little stone, give me back my rice." Countless voices, tinged with amusement, mimicked Grandma's tone. My legs shook uncontrollably. Mom yanked me into her arms, covering my mouth. Suddenly, a scream pierced the air, old Zhang's voice. He must have found Grandma's remains. The courtyard erupted in noise, and the shadows at the door and window vanished. We all exhaled heavily, collapsing to the floor, gasping for air. Dad glanced outside, wiping sweat from his brow. I don't know if old Zhang will escape. If not for him, we'd be done for. I remembered Grandpa. "Dad, Grandpa went to Beard's house and hasn't come back. I'm more worried about him than old Zhang. What if he comes back and sees Grandma's body? What if that monster gets him?" Dad's face filled with anxiety. "I have to go find him." Mom grabbed him. "Don't go. That thing might still be nearby. Let's hide in the cellar with Little Stone first." "What about Dad? He doesn't even know Ma's gone." Dad choked up. Mom tried to calm him. "That thing's huge. Even if you and Grandpa team up, you can't fight it. You just be serving it more meat." As Dad wavered, footsteps echoed in the courtyard. "Blue Eagle, Little Stone, Stone's mom, where are you?" It was Grandpa's voice, thick with tears. My nose stung, and I rushed to the window, crying, "Grandpa, we're here. Grandma's dead, eaten by that damn thing. Why do you take so long?" Grandpa grabbed my hand, laughing and crying. "You're alive. Thank goodness." Dad and Mom moved the furniture and opened the door. We clung to each other, sobbing. Grandpa sighed. "I know about your ma. It's not your fault." I couldn't help but say, "Grandpa, we saw that monster. It had so many eyes and mouths, and it sounded like it had lots of legs." "What is it?" Grandpa thought for a moment. "Beard's dad says it's a bear spirit, but I don't think so. They say it fears fire and explosives. I got some gunpowder and kerosene from his place. If we meet it again, we'll blow it up to avenge your grandma." He patted the bundle on his back. "It could come back any time. We need to move. Beard's dad knows a place it can't find. Once we get there, we'll be safe." Dad glanced at his leg. "Where are we going? Isn't the cellar good enough?" Grandpa shook his head. "You ate the buying meat rice. It scent marks you. No hiding spot is deep enough. Don't ask questions. Just follow me." He wrapped rags around sticks, doused them with kerosene, and lit 3 torches. It was nearly midnight. The moon was high and bright, but the thick fog kept visibility low. 2 steps out the gate, I tripped. As I looked down, Mom's face paled, and she covered my eyes. But her hand shook so much I could still see. I screamed. It was a blood-stained human skeleton.